Okay, so really quick, let me share my screen. Just wanted to do a quick little shout out. So we are halfway through the month. Literally it's September 20th. I don't know where the time has gone, but just wanted to recognize everybody. This is a lot of names on the board, by the way, for our team. So that's really, really cool. And so many people who are SE2 and 4. And so just wanted to encourage y'all to keep going. And I shared this the other day, or in our Kingdom Builders group, I shared it at least, but I've had quite a few girls this past month who literally y'all have told me no 2 or 3 times. One girl literally ghosted me since March, like even asked for me to text her and then never responded. And then out of the blue sent me a text message this week. And so just a reminder that like sometimes we can look at these numbers and we can get really frustrated because we might see somebody at 6 and we're at 2 or 0 or whatever. But just remember that like we have to consistently keep showing up and doing the small things, and take our eyes off the number, but truly just have eyes to see people we can serve. And so just a reminder, like to keep being consistent, to keep doing the small things, because like I said, I hit Success Club this week from people who have told me no or ghosted me 6 months ago. And so just a reminder, like it truly is cool if you continue to share your journey and just be real with people what it can do. But also don't let your foot off the gas. Like keep doing the tracker every single day or however many days a week. My goal is 5. But keep doing it through the end of the month. We are going to do a free group, which I completely forgot till right now. Or I forgot to text somebody about it. If you need that resource, if you want to plug people into a free group, we're going to do it on your morning. Make sure you go back and comment on the Facebook post though that I shared yesterday morning. If you want to help, you don't have to help to put girls in it, by the way, but just letting y'all know, such an easy way to invite and such an easy way to show people what this looks like, because a lot of people truly just don't want to make the investment. So let me go back to Courtney's thing. I'm gonna present it. So basically, I feel like I'm being Caroline right now. I don't need to give anybody on here a what am I trying to say? Pregnancy brain. What am I trying to say, Courtney? I don't need to introduce Courtney is what I'm trying to say. Because everybody on here knows her, but just because we are recording this and going to post it, I asked Courtney to do this specific call. One, because she's one of the leaders on our team. Like she has hit Success Club every single month since she started coaching. But what I really, really wanted her to bring out and share was her story, because for those of you who don't know, and I'm not going to share it because she's about to, but Courtney went through 2 or 3 months of literally a major surgery, not being able to work out, not being able to walk her health and fitness journey. And y'all, 9 out of 10 people would have just stepped back and said, well, I can't work out. I can't do this. What's the point in sharing? But there's so much more to our job as a Beachbody coach. Like we are not Beachbody robots. And if we think the only job we have is to work out, we've completely missed it. Like our job is to share our journey, what the Lord's doing in our life, and encourage somebody through it. And Courtney did just that. Like, was she working out? No, but was she sharing her journey and sharing what the Lord was doing in her life and still inviting people and serving people because she still had the tools and resources to help them? Yes. And so I'm going to stop talking because she's going to share that. But that's why I asked her to come on here, because I think we can get so caught up and we have to do it a certain way, but we have to have this perfect health and fitness routine when that's not our job at all. Our job is to share our testimony, share what the Lord's doing in our life, and serve women through it. So, okay, Courtney, all you. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, well, Shay just shared what I was going to share, so I'm going to sing for you guys instead. Just kidding. I had to make a corny joke. Okay, so I knew that I was going to share my story when I came on tonight, but I also wanted there to be some sort of practical steps or things for you to take away from it, or even just like a shift in your perspective. So that's just been my prayer for tonight. But I titled this, How and Why Beachbody is a Thing and Not the Thing. And the moment I realized I was making it the thing. Okay, so like these first 2 slides are going to be kind of like brainstorming slides. So you guys, if you're able to write these down, go for it. We're going to do something in the chat in a minute, but I'm going to kind of go through mine, and then you guys think about yours as I name your why. So this is your purpose, your mission statement, and mine is to help exhausted and anxious women find courage and strength in Christ to conquer what seems impossible. Ironically, this means something a lot different to me now than it did when the Lord laid it on my heart. So I think that's kind of neat. We don't have to put, our why doesn't have to stay the same, I don't think. I think that there's always that main purpose and passion behind why you do this, but also the seasons change and your why might change as well. So what fuels your passion for stewarding your body well? Personally, what drives you? So for me, it's to be well equipped physically, spiritually, mentally, to serve intentionally in every role that I play and every hat that I wear. And probably wouldn't have said that from the beginning when I first started coaching. So a lot of this will come out as I share, but I just wanted to talk through these so you guys have some time to think on it. And the last one is, why do you desire to come alongside other women in their journey? For me, it's to see women find freedom in their faith and fitness journeys and be bold about their purpose, have more energy to do all that they have been called to do. So essentially, why do you want to bring other women along with you in this? So yeah, that's great. Okay, so this one, we'll kind of come back to what you wrote down. Hopefully you're able to write it down. If not, you already know. But this kind of might seem weird at first, but drop in the chat 3 hobbies or passions that you have unrelated to fitness. For example, for me, I would probably put DIY, home decor, anything florals, anything you can think of that's just not related to fitness. And then after you do that, which I can't see anything, I haven't been able to see people or chat, so I won't be able to read that, I don't think. Or maybe I will. Yes, I can. So yeah, you can drop it in the chat there you go, HMB. Okay, so go back and look at your why. Even though fitness is your business, your side hustle, and your platform for making an impact, you do not have to give up what makes you you to be successful in seeing your why come to fruition. In fact, what adds up to make you you is going to translate into your business and help compound your growth organically. I just feel like this was really important to add in here. It'll also kind of make more sense as I kind of share my story, but I think it's really important. But even more than compounding your growth, you're here to connect. And some of you, I think I just wanted to hit on this because some of you, well, I know you're amazing at sharing your faith and fitness journey, and that's great. I think that's all of our niches, so to speak. But it doesn't have to be it. There are so many other things that make us don't neglect or compromise what makes you you. And I think I did that for a little while when I started coaching. And I think it's really important to hear that's still super important to share, that you're not a robot. You're not just a Beachbody salesperson. And I was no longer doing the things I enjoyed, and I wasn't sharing them. I was doing both of those before. And not that faith and fitness is definitely my passion, and I know my purpose there, and it's a great platform to share my testimony, but also there are so many other things that make up me, and we don't want to compromise that. Okay. Oh, and I put the screenshot of my Instagram page just because it looks so much different now than it used to. Okay, so I'll go ahead. I think most of you probably know bits and pieces of my story and just what I have been through in the last 6 months to a year. Surgery was only 5 months ago, which blows my mind when I actually say that. But because I've come such a long way and there were days I thought I wasn't going to be moving my body again, especially doing cardio. And so it's really cool to see how the Lord just worked through every piece of this. But I'll just kind of start from the beginning. I was literally sitting on my couch one day and felt this pain. Didn't really know what it was. Thought it might have been like a pulled muscle or I don't know, something going on in my upper back chest area. And so I started stretching, which is probably the worst thing that I could have done. And I kind of walked around the house and immediately was like, okay, I can't breathe. And so I kind of just went down. Thankfully, I had my phone on me, and I called Will, and he came and took me to the emergency room. And this was during COVID. And so I sat in the emergency room with him for a little while, not long before they sent him out to the car. And so I was in a full emergency room with COVID patients. So I was waiting for scans, and finally I got them way later into the night, and still didn't get a room until the next morning. But I was told in the ER that they saw a pneumothorax on the CT. I think it was a CT, which I didn't have Will with me and didn't know what that was. And so they immediately told me that they were going to be putting a tube in basically right then. And so I just had a panic attack and called. Thankfully, one of the ER docs was nice enough to just call Will. I was able to talk to him. He kind of explained it to me, and it was so crowded and so packed at the hospital I had to go to because of insurance reasons that I did not get a room until like the following morning, and didn't hear from a doctor until then too. And so they decided that it was small enough to not have to have the tube. So I was there for 3 days, I think. And then followed up with pulmonologists after this. They decided I was on heavy oxygen, and I can't remember what else. But I stayed there for 3 days, followed up with pulmonologists, and shortly after, I guess maybe like a month later, I ended up having another one. And so the pulmonologist told me the first time that they don't do surgery until you have two. And so the second time that I had one, I was extremely fearful. It wasn't as severe as the first one, but definitely scary to not know anything about the future in regards to that. And also it was so shocking that it was even happening. Of course, I was extremely concerned that I had done something, that this was exercise or, my anxiety, or what could this be? And they assured me that it was strictly anatomical and nothing that, I could do. I was probably born with these weak spots in my lungs. I should probably back up and explain what a pneumothorax is. Sorry. It's just basically all of you guys are medical that are on here, so you probably can explain it better than I can. But basically the air was getting trapped outside of my lungs in the pleural space, and so my lungs weren't able to fully expand, and that's exactly what it felt like. And so mixed with a lot of pain here and there. And so that was really scary. So basically just kept having these partial collapses until I was referred to a cardiothoracic surgeon. So literally went from sitting on my couch thinking I pulled a muscle to having a meeting with a cardiothoracic surgeon, and just wondering why, how, where do I go from here? And so lots of decisions to be made about surgery, and definitely wasn't a minor surgery to undergo, but not extremely high risk either. I was pretty much at risk either way, probably more at risk for things like future pregnancy and flying, anything that caused change in elevation surgery. And so for that reason, we decided to go forward with the surgery, not knowing if they were going to find answers or not. So just full trust that the Lord was good and that I was going to do whatever I could to minimize this from happening again and keep it from being severe. So we went forward with it, knowing that I would basically be out of pocket for at least over a month. And I work a full-time job, and so I wasn't there for probably a month and wasn't able to do like a full workout for probably 3 months, like full on 100% workout. But I was able to change up what I did during that season. And so I was able to go forward with the surgery. They ended up, I almost forgot, like the main part is that they found the cause, which was a huge answer to prayer. I was fully ready to wake up and them say, we still have no idea. Like there could have been so many underlying things or conditions. But the Lord allowed it to be exactly what they were hoping for. And so pretty rare for it to happen to a female. But they found a bleb, which was essentially causing the leak in my lung. And so they were able to wedge that out and create some scar tissue to allow it, if something ever happened again, it would be a lot less severe. And then they also ended up finding a nodule that turned out to be non-cancerous. And so just a huge answer to prayer overall, and a lot to just process in a short amount of time. And so during this season, the recovery was absolutely brutal, and I would not wish it on anyone. I was not fully prepared for what it was going to look like. Shay didn't tell me, but she knew. I'm just kidding, but it really was a super hard recovery, and I've been through surgeries in the past. I've torn both my ACLs and had ACL surgery back in high school, and so I always thought of myself as having a really high pain tolerance, but this was on another level, and all the more reason for me to want to gain back my strength and be, better than ever, and heal in a way that prepped me to be safe in coming back to being active again and getting into my workouts. And so that was really important to me. But I was able to just show up, and the only way that I knew how through that time was just connecting. And so I'm not going to say that I really didn't. It felt weird to be inviting during that time right around then, but I still was able to connect, which was super neat, because I found this whole community of women that had undergone the VATS procedure, which is what I had done, and have connected with them since, and still to this day talking to them about getting plugged in our community. And so whether they do or not, I was able to use this platform because of Beachbody to connect with them. I don't feel as alone. They don't feel as alone. And we're just able to connect through that specifically. And I hope that still, maybe for someone like me scouring Instagram, looking for anybody who was having this or this had happened to them, I feel blessed to be able to have an IGTV on my page that someone might find one day that can connect to. And so I was super thankful for that. But yeah, it really was a challenge, but not super hard to continue to show up, because I had this community of coaches and ladies praying me through it. And so it was truly a testament to the heart of our team in this community through such a dark season. I guess I had known you guys for a while at that point, but I remember Shay just sending me a prayer through a voice message the night I was alone in the emergency room at the hospital without even my husband. And so I get tears in my eyes thinking about it, but it's a total God thing that the Lord just led me to this community. So, okay. Okay, so I just want to talk about my mindset kind of going forward from here that I'm working toward. And I think I put this backwards. I meant that this first one, that I want to be as passionate about being a wife, a full-time employee, a daughter, a sister, a friend, all the hats that I wear. I want to be as passionate about those as I am about health and fitness. I don't want to neglect those. I don't necessarily think they all need all this equal amount, but I think they all have to be acknowledged. They're who you are. They're the roles that you play, and everything flows from stewarding these well. And so that was the first thing. And then compartmentalizing my life was becoming an exhausting task that I no longer wanted any part of. I feel like for a while I had like Beachbody coach in this box, and wife here, and church community here, and all these things were separate. And sometimes I still feel that way, and it's a good check in my spirit when I start feeling the torn. But it's so important to me that I am the same me all around, because it is draining. And it goes right back to my purpose statement, and my why in this is to not be exhausted and not be anxious, and to let freedom flow from my fitness journey. And when I'm overcommitting and trying to separate all of these worlds and all these hats that I wear, it takes me right back to exhaustion and anxiety. And so that's huge for me. And then I also wanted to connect with other women first and foremost. And so I started to engage them in a way that did not put me or them into a box. I feel like before I was, and I'm not afraid to say it, but at times I was literally messaging people just to, get them in our community or even make a sale. And so I wanted to see them as people and wanted to connect in a much deeper way than that. And it didn't matter to me anymore. Didn't matter to me whether they joined the community or not. It mattered that I was just shining a light for Christ in all that I was doing. And if they wanted to come alongside me in something that I'm passionate about, then even better. So. Okay, so practical ways to implement this mindset. So from what I have learned over the last 6 months to a year, and then also just from watching other coaches, we say all the time that success leaves clues. I just kind of came up with these 3 mindsets. So slow down. I didn't slow down for a long time and sometimes still don't. So I'm not saying that I have all this down at all. But do not feel like this is a sprint, because if you feel that way, you're probably making it the thing. And I learned that the hard way. So slow down. Okay, live intentionally and see people as people. We say this all the time in our community. You're in the people business. So don't forget that. Don't forget that you're here for a greater purpose, and don't forget your why. So the last one is be efficient. So maximize the time that you have. And we say that a lot as well. Whatever season you're in is going to look different, and you're going to have to weigh those priorities out. The last thing I would say is that if I was going to give up in every hard season that came my way, I probably would have given up like 6 times by now. But I feel like because of the Lord's just faithfulness through all of this right here is what is most important to me. This gives me such a wonderful platform just to share. I don't know that I would have ever had this before. And so it lets me use my passion to live a healthy life, to steward it well for the Lord, but to also just shine a light for Him. And so I feel like these 3 mindsets, if you're doing them, I feel like we are remembering our why. And that's what it's all about. Beachbody is a thing, not the thing. That's it. Thanks, guys, for letting me share. Can't see anybody.
Oh, wait, let me take you off the spotlight. Or can y'all all see her and me? Okay. I don't know how to work Zoom either, Courtney. It's okay. I made you a spotlight while you were talking. That was so good, though. Thank you for just sharing your heart and your story and testimony. And I loved like the end part where you said, slow down, live intentionally, and be efficient. That's my personal development takeaway for the day. I wrote it in my box, by the way. So you feel special. But that was so good. Does anybody have any questions? I know we have a small group on here tonight.
I hate that I haven't been able to see you guys. I don't even know who's on here. I can only see Shay.
It's me. I'm the only one here. No, I'm just kidding. Nikki, Hannah May.
Biggest fan.
Yeah. Nikki's on here. Hannah May is on here. Emma and Brittany is on here. But that was so good. Thank you
for those of you that just hopped on. I don't know what happened with my Zoom, but I was very late, and also my computer crashed, so I'm learning this Mac of my husband. So apparently it has issues too. But
sorry, my computer goes up. Well, that's all we got for tonight. Courtney, I'm proud of you for leading a call. And I'm
sweating, but
I sweat every time I lead a call. Trust me. I mean, not when we do our check-ins, But I also love like how you pointed out that like if you were going to quit, you would have quit like 6 times already. And it's honestly just proof that like there's going to be so many ups and downs in this business. But when we're so rooted in, first of all, who we are in Christ, and second, the purpose that he's given us and the job that he's given us, like you're going to keep walking in that. And that doesn't mean you're always going to coach. Like, I'm not saying that. There might be seasons where he calls you elsewhere, but I know for me too, like I can look back on some really just ups and downs in this business or hard seasons in life in general. But like you said, like this community is something special. And just like you were talking about, like you sitting in the emergency room, like I know there's been seasons in my life where I've had a prayer come through on my phone and it was from somebody in this community. And like, that's what keeps me here. Part of what keeps me here is just the community and just people who truly love you and support you and encourage you. But let's see. Also, I wasn't commenting, by the way, Courtney. I was going to. Okay, can y'all hear me now? It could like
now I can.
My audio just changed to my AirPods. I tried to open them up a while ago, but
I'm glad we're both dysfunctional.
We should be not joyfully his sisters, the dysfunctional sisters. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody else might get mad at that. Be like, whoa, don't put me in that category with y'all.
I accept it.
I didn't comment because I was recording, so sorry. I was like not commenting back, but I was scared if I pulled it up, like everybody on the recording screen would just see that. I'm gonna stop recording this, by the way. But thank you so much for sharing. Y'all don't have to get off. I'm just gonna stop recording real quick.